One of the biggest challenges foreign businesses had with Africa was the issue of fragmented markets. Africa was made up of 55, or is made up of 55 countries divided. Some of the divisions and the borders were very hostile to each other. How this hostility came about was that in the colonial times, when European countries colonized Africa, these African countries were split according to their colonial masters. So, what then happened was that if the colonial masters were fighting in Europe, the African countries would become hostile to each other or would actually have to fight each other. This created hostility at the borders, it created hostility between African countries. Now, as a result of these hostilities, the individual markets in some cases were too small. Some countries are below a million people or just 1 million people or thereabouts. They were too small to attract businesses because businesses want to be able to scale. They want to be able to set up in a place and grow and service enough customers or clients to make it competitive. If you look at the United States, for instance, it's over 300 million people. It's attractive to business. Europe is over 400 million people. It's attractive to a business to set up in those places, and then they can do business across all the borders. This wasn't the case in Africa. However, with the formation of the African Union and progress and development in 2013, a 50-year development plan was done in Africa for the first time. So that development plan aims to make Africa a developed continent by 2063. One of the components of this development plan was the launching of a free trade area, that is, removing trade borders between the different countries and allowing the countries to trade with each other easily. So it was called, or it is called, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. Now, this Continental Free Trade Area was launched somewhere around 2019 and has been progressively improving. It entails removing trade barriers, economic barriers, developing infrastructure, making it possible to trade from one country to another. So now, when you go to do business in Africa, you're not just looking at small markets or small countries or fragmented markets. You're looking at being able to reach 1 billion people from one location, either on the continent or from your global location. You can move into Africa and you have a channel to 1 billion people. This is a very big draw card to doing business in Africa, and is the reason why you should invest in Africa. There is 1 billion customers out there for you because of integrated markets.